through the halls of a Four Seasons loft. In Austin, I saw, pause, my eyes crawl to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, focus reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and rating the grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. I know it's late for us to be on right now, but we are here, and we're trying to get caught up on everything. We've had a crazy, crazy day, crazy week. The lady who took over from my mom, Florine Deba, as my mother, when my mother passed away 15 years ago, passed away. So this week has been just trying to get caught up with her, trying to get all that stuff done for her funeral this weekend or this Friday at 10:30, which we do now know when it's going to be Friday at 10:30 for all of those of you all who are interested in attending at St. Elijah on May Avenue there north, almost up right across from the on key right there on 33rd of May or 107th, whatever it is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And so anyway, we're trying to get all that done, and it's just been an absolute nightmare trying to get all the arrangements done and just dealing with all the stuff. And to be honest, she's in a better place. It's kind of like when my mom passed away. It hurt, but at the same time, she's not hurting anymore. She's with the Lord, and she's in a better place, and all that is fantastic on the surface, but it does not really help you feel any better. I mean, it does, but it doesn't, if you know what I'm trying to say. Those of you all been through it, you know exactly what I'm trying to say. It's one of those things where it's been really hard because she came along and took care of me when I was in a low spot. And those of you all men who have lost their moms, and girls lost your moms too, but you know what, guys, boys and their moms, dads and their girls and their dads. And it was tough, but I want to thank her for allowing me to come into her house, allowing me to spend Thanksgivings and Christmases and all the other stuff that involved there with the Lebanese culture. Still wish she'd let me have some ham. She did not do that. She did not let me have ham, but she was such a wonderful lady, and she will be missed. And I appreciate so much of the love that she showed me, making me feel that they're part of the family, along with Terry and everybody. I just don't even I don't even know how to say it. Stacy, I'm closer to Stacy than I was to Terry, the other sister. And then I'm very, very close to Michael, the brother, Deba. And that's how I got, involved with the whole family anyway, was through Michael. So, but Stacy, Terry, and Michael, my heart, love goes out to you three. And then the rest, of course, of the family that goes out to them too. But to those three who welcomed me into their family and showed me love and support. And I appreciate that more than words could ever say. Now back to sports. The Oklahoma State Cowboys finally made a move and firing Mike Gundy today finally. And I think, to me, I knew that Gundy was gone last year. Okay, I knew he was gone last Christmas when all that went down with him and restructuring his contract. I knew he was gone. But it's debatable on what his accomplishments were. Let's say it's not debatable what his accomplishments were. It's debatable on, to me, what type of leader he was completely for the whole program. But when you look at his record, 170 and 90, he was 12 and 6 in bowls. He went to 18 bowls in 20 years. He was the coach of the year in 2010, Big 12, which is the year that I believe should have won the national title. I don't think anybody was better than us. Maybe it was 2011. Nobody was better than us that year, and we got screwed by an SEC coach, and which ended the BCS stuff. I mean, what did he vote us? 100 and whatever, something stupid, best team in the country, so that LSU and Alabama could play, which was one of the worst championship games I believe to this, and to my deepest bones, that Oklahoma State would have smashed Alabama, without question, would have smashed them. Because once they played the next year and they got to play OU a couple years later, they didn't know how to do the spread. And, the running game goes out the window when you're down 14-3 or 14-7. I mean, come on now. When they're scoring, we're scoring on you just like that, and now all of a sudden you got to throw the ball, something you're uncomfortable with. I just think we would have won it. But anyway, 2010 Coach of the Year, Big 12. 2011, Eddie Robertson Coach of the Year. 2011, Paul Bear Bryant Coach of the Year. And then 2021 and 2023, Big 12 Coach of the Year. So he was Big 12 Coach of the Year 3 times. That right there says everything that you need to say. Okay, about what he was as far as a coach. 5-time Coach of the Year, 12 and 6 in bowl games, even though he lost some bowl games that we all believe that he should have won. But that's irrelevant. You lost one, whatever. He still was really good at what he did. It's just frustrating to a lot of us that we didn't win more, that he didn't do more. But Gundy, I believe, to me, he got into a space where he was very comfortable. Everybody was comfortable with him. And still to this day, for him to get a contract that says you're not fireable or that it's a lifetime, that's insane. That's insane. How do you do something like that? No way. No way. You don't give him that. Nobody deserves that. When you look at Paul Bear Bryant, he didn't get it. Eddie Robertson he coached at Graham until he retired, but he was a different level. But Nick Saban didn't get that. How do you give a guy that? So, but I've seen a lot of comments about how Oklahoma State made a mistake. No, they didn't. They did not make a mistake. Everybody forgets that they were trying to fire him when we got Dana Holgorsen in 2011, 2010. Everybody forgets what happened before that when we got smashed by Mississippi in the Cotton Bowl with Eli Manning. So to me, you can sell this stuff all you want to. I just think it was time for a change. And I think he was done. To be honest with you, I think he was done coaching. You look at him, he just didn't have that fire. He just didn't. It's like he was just there. But he was he was controlling and ruling the Oklahoma State Athletics. So when you're king, why wouldn't you do that? Which I disagree with. That's what your athletic director's job is. But once again, I think that he did a wonderful job. He kind of brought Oklahoma State back on the map, and then just as soon as he brought it on the map, he got rid of it. Because in 2023, what he did last year, the coaching job he did last year, for you to lose that many players, quit on you and leave, they quit on him. They quit on him. And you can't tell me they didn't. Hell yeah, they quit on him, and you know they did. And so for me as a coach, if my players quit on me, I'm done. Because my last year coaching, AAU, whatever you want to call it, that's what happened to me. My players, because of decisions I made them quit on me in a tournament. 2 tournaments back to back. And after that, I was done. I said, I need to quit. These guys quit on me. And it's my fault. Because I think they believed I betrayed them, which in my mind I didn't, but I could see where in their mind they probably thought I did. And they quit on me. So I get the whole thing, but to me, I'm done. I'm not happy, and I hadn't been happy either coaching. I was done coaching. So for me, all that part of it is huge to me. As a person who has some pride in himself, how does he not walk away when your team quit on you? Instead, you got a whole new team. Now, that being said, on the flip side, what happens if his quarterback doesn't get hurt in the third series of the game? The very first game, what happens? You go touchdown, touchdown, quarterback gets hurt. What would he have done? What would he have accomplished? What would have happened? So you can't take away everything that Gundy has done because he did a bunch. Yeah, I just showed you what he did, 5-time coach of the year. You can't argue what the man did. There's no argument, 170 and 90. I mean, he won. But at the same time, I believe Oklahoma State did some things too to allow him to go beyond what he should have been going beyond as a coach. So all of that to me ties together in what do you do and how do you change and how do you go from here? Who do you hire? I've heard the name of, Coach Traylor maybe coming in, but who knows what's going to happen. I think you just use the interim coach. You let him finish out the year. And Oklahoma State's great facilities. You've got people that's got some money who are willing to put in for the NIL. Now, is it as much as OU? Probably not. But do we have a bunch? Yes, we do. So you go out and get a guy. But I think Gundy stayed too long. I believe that last year, to me, he should have retired. But, who's going to pay him $40 million? Nobody's doing that. Or whatever the number was, ridiculous number, came back in and renegotiated. How do you sign a new contract, put your house up for sale, your ranch up for sale? You're gone right there. If you do that, to me, that says you're gone. Why did you even stay? Oh, pick up that last bit of money. I mean, to me, that's why you stayed, to get that last $15 million. To me, that's why you stayed. You didn't look like you were into it. Then you ran your mouth at Dan Lanning before we played Oregon, and I talked about that on the show. What are you doing? Why would you piss them off getting ready to go to Oregon? They're way better than us. Way better than Oklahoma State. Way better. Now, the 2011 team, probably not. 2023, that defense is really good, but yeah, probably. So a lot of mistakes were made, but I want to wish him luck. I want to wish him continued success on his journey on whatever that is that he's going to be able to do and all that. But at the same time, where does that put Oklahoma State? Where does that put Oklahoma State? So I wish him well. I believe that Oklahoma State, our Chad Weigberger, our athletic director, will do what he needs to do. I believe that the search committee will go get what they need to go after the season's over with. You've got a decent quarterback. At least he was playing pretty well. So you got something there, we think. But 3 possessions, what does that really tell you? Really 2. But you went back-to-back TDs. But I was watching people saying, how'd you fire him? Well, you piss off Dan Lanning and then you lose to Tulsa. That's how you get fired. That's how you get fired. But once again, good luck to Mike Gundy. I hope that he lands on his feet, which he will. Whether he'll coach again, who knows? He's made a bunch of money, so he may be able to go. I'm sure some these radio stations here in Oklahoma City, somebody will hire him to, kind of like Pat Jones type deal where he'll come on and do some sort of deal or whatever if he wants to do that. He has options here in Oklahoma for sure. Go to Tulsa and do some stuff since Tulsa's a huge Oklahoma State area. So he could do something with them, who knows. But his options are open. He has the ability to kind of figure out what he wants to do and where he wants to go. Those things are open to him, 100%. So, but like I said, I wish him well. I hope he does well in his the commander, Randy Wright, says the new coach needs to be Terry Miller. I don't know if Terry has the patience. I don't know if TM has the patience. Did a great job of recruiting me. He did a great job of being your mentor and my mentor and taking care of us 100%. Your brother Ray, not so much. Him and Ray together, they were a horrible combination. They got you and I in trouble many, many times, Randy. But it is what it is. But that being said, I wish Oklahoma State the best. I wish Mike Gundy the best. I know that Oklahoma State will rebound. I know that we'll hire the right coach that needs to be put in place. Okay, you got your basketball coach in women's. You got your basketball coach in men's. You got your baseball coach. You got a wrestling coach. So you're building. You've got a softball coach. So you've got the foundations of the other sports. Now you need the moneymaker to come in, which is football. And I think that will happen. I believe they will make the right choice to get the right guy in. I have no doubts about that in my mind whatsoever. So I think those things will happen for Oklahoma State in the future. So that being said, let's get on to the rest of the days, the rest of the sports. Now in NFL, this happened, and most of us kind of saw it happen, that the Giants were going to replace Russell Wilson with Jackson Dart at quarterback. I don't think anybody didn't see this coming for a while. How do you not see that? I mean, Jackson Dart, I don't know what he will do, but Russell Wilson, I still don't know how you can go from where he was to where he is. I don't know how you can do that. I really don't. I don't know how you can be at the top of your game, and 3 years, 4 years later, Sean Payton couldn't handle you as a coach. Go to the Steelers. He can't Mike can't handle you as a coach. You go here, they can't handle you as a coach. I mean, as coaching, they can't coach you. What does that say about you? How do you go? Pete Carroll had to let you go there in Seattle. So I have no idea what happened to Russell Wilson, but I think he derailed any chance that he may have had to be an NFL in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he continues to make that trek. I just don't see it. I really, really, truly don't see it. Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans expected to miss multiple games with a hamstring. How is that going to affect the Baker show? And Baker has been playing really, really well. So what is that going to do for Baker being able to miss Mike Evans? But he does have a new receiver that he's been throwing the ball to. But I don't know how that's really going to affect Baker and what he's going to be able to accomplish. So we shall see how that works out. But I still have the Buccaneers as one of my favorite teams, as one of the top teams in the conference. Titans head coach Brian Callahan to give up play calling duties after 0-3 start. Yeah, should have gave him up last year. Not all coaches are capable of calling offenses. I mean, some of them are head coaches, some of them are offensive coordinators who became head coaches, but they still have to have an offensive coordinator that goes through them, but they have to have an offensive coordinator calling them. Not everybody's capable of doing that. Now Brian Daboll at the Giants, like I said, he couldn't handle Russell Wilson, but he's able to do that. But not all coaches can do that. Sean Payton can do it. You look at Andy Reid, he has someone else do that. Matt Nagy does his play calling. Now, is Andy right there, and does he can he veto a call? I'm sure he probably can, but he lets them do that. So I don't really see that as a hard thing at all. Now, last night, I don't know how many of you all watched the game last night. I know I did. And what a game it was. The Detroit Lions beat the Ravens. The Ravens are now 1-2, the same as the Chiefs. They play each other Thursday night. The Lions last night, they manhandled them from the very beginning. I don't think they didn't really have a choice. They couldn't do nothing with them the whole time. They couldn't handle it. I mean, the Lions just physically beat up the Ravens. They really did. And I can't remember the last time Lamar Jackson has been sacked that many times. Can't remember it. Jared Goff did what Jared Goff does. Only threw for 200 yards, but 20 of 28. He made big throws when he had to make them. Lamar, 288 yards. I thought Lamar played great. I mean, he wasn't being protected, but he wasn't running as much, but he really couldn't run. There was no for him to go because they did a fantastic job of bottling him up and keep staying in their lanes and not giving him really where he could bounce outside. They stayed in their lanes, and then Aiden Hutchinson made the play of the game by knocking the ball again away from Derek. And you know, talking about Derek Henry, he fumbled again, third game in a row that he's fumbled. Uh, but I like the fact that Derek stepped up to the plate and he was like, "Hey, I got to get it fixed." And these guys are like, "How are you going to fix it?" Well, you just got to, try to get it out of your mind and work. It's like missing free throws or whatever. Once it gets in your mind, it's hard to let go. But you gotta. But it's not easy to do. Uh, Lions 426 total yards. The Ravens 318, 224 yards rushing, and that was the difference. The Lions just physically beat them up. Hey, Alex, how's it going? John Harbaugh is not the guy. He's wasting Lamar's prime. Uh, I don't know about that, Alex, so much. This is Alex in our live stream. When we do our live stream on YouTube, you can go to that and you can talk to me. Because when you're on Facebook and people send me messages, I can't really see what they're saying. But you can go on YouTube and you can go search the Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark, and you can go ahead and do it that way. But anyway, first down, 24-21. One turnover for the Ravens, which was huge. 7 minutes difference. It's a little over 6 minutes difference between time and possession. 33-18 versus 26-42. So, Alex, I don't know if he's wasting Lamar's game. I think by getting the new offensive coordinator, I think that Todd Munchen, I think that's been different for him. But the problem is, this is how I believe. Once you pay your quarterback, it's hard to maintain that. And when you look at what the Eagles did by paying him, by paying Hurts, they still have to. They're gonna have to pay the piper at some point because that he's making. You can't sign all these contracts and not. I mean, you have to be kicking it down. You got to be doing something, kicking it down to the curb, to stand at the salary cap. There's got to be something he's doing that's going to cost them at some point. But he's done a good job of putting together a team. The Ravens, they just don't have a defense. Alex, they just don't have a defense. They just don't. I think Lamar's got some weapons. He's got Derrick Henry. He's got Zay Flowers. He's got some weapons. He's got himself. Mark Andrews, a tight end. I just don't know what the issue is with them, but they just don't seem to be able to get it done. The Ravens are wasting it overall. But I mean, let's face it. Last year, I mean, I don't know if that's really true. I mean, let's think about this. Think about it this way, Alex. Last year, Mark Andrews catches the 2-point conversion. Do they beat Buffalo? Did they beat Buffalo last year? Probably. So they go to the conference finals to play the Chiefs 2 years in a row. The year before, I don't think they were ready for the conference finals. And let's face it, Lamar has not been the best in the playoffs in his career, but he did get him to the finals. He played not great against the Chiefs at home when the Chiefs won their second Super Bowl back-to-back. And then last year, they're one play away from going back-to-back. So I don't know if we can count this year and say that so much, Alex, because, I mean, they have done what they needed to do. Don't you agree? I mean, those are facts right there when you look at what the Ravens have done. You're one play away from going back-to-back AFC Conference Finals, so I don't know if you can really say that they're wasting Lamar's talent because they've almost gone back-to-back, right? I mean, agreed? But defensively, I just think they're hurting. It's just like the Chiefs offensively. You're losing two of your weapons. I mean, Mahomes can only do so much before that's the end of it. I think he has done as much as he can do by himself, and I just think he's at the point Chiefs have no running game. They're relying strictly on Mahomes. He doesn't really have his wide receivers to throw to. Kelsey can't get open because he's old. They put a young, strong safety or young cornerback on him. He can't separate really from him. They're not on the same page for whatever reason. So I just don't know. I don't know if it's Lamar or if it's just the fact that you got to have a defense. You got to be able to stop people. But remember when the Chiefs were scoring so fast? You got to have a running game. You have to slow them down. But when you can't stop the other team, I mean, think about this, for example, Alex. They had a 98, 95-yard touchdown drives. When the hell is that the last time that's happened? That the Ravens have back-to-back. I can't remember the last time they had a drive against them that long. And they had two almost back-to-back. So I don't know what the answer is to that. I just think that they're going to have to get some help, and the big boy not being in the middle that hurt them as well. I think they're there almost. I think they're right on the outside, but this coming Thursday is going to be huge because the Chiefs and the Ravens both are 1-2. They're playing in Arrowhead. They've got. I mean, it's they're both 1-2. The team that's 1-3 is going to have a harder time getting to the playoffs versus the team that's 2-2. So we're going to see how that works and see what happens with that. But I'm really interested to see how they're going to overcome the last few weeks. Because let's face it, they should have beat the Bills, and last night they got bullied. Okay, they got bullied by the Lions, but of course the Lions got bullied by them twice. So that's only fair. Agreed? I think so. I think we can agree to that. Take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit those guys up. They love to take care of you. And then also, if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, hit these guys up. They'd love to make sure that you have clean drinking water. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our boys up over at Oak Grove. They love to make sure that everything is taken care of for you and get you taken care of. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC. Proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into one of the 5 locations, the main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right there in front of the hospital. Cannot miss it. Cannot think of the name of the hotel that's right there. I need to go back again to Yukon. Randy, you and I need to go to Louis and have lunch again, and I can remember the name of that damn hotel that's right there in front of the bank. Or right behind the bank, I'm sorry. And then, of course, YNB Peoples located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. I cannot miss it. Great place. Go see those guys over there. They love to take care of you. The House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Guys, I'm sorry, excuse me. I can't tell you how good this stuff smells. I really can't. It is so, so delicious. I'm sorry, I've been drinking tons of water. Been sick as a mother all last week. And sinuses mess with me. I'm trying to drink as much water as I can to get this done. But it's so good. And they always said, man, remember, pick the best for your best. If that's a guy, go in there while you're picking up some cologne for yourself at the Dillard's Mall, at the Dillard's East store there at Penn Square. Walk across to the West store and get your girl something. She'd love it. And then also, if you're a woman and you're buying you some perfume over at the West store, walk down the hall, get you something at the East in the men's department over there. Go ahead and take care of it. Then also, if you're in Tulsa, go to Woodland Hills Mall, which we will be coming to at some point. Town East Mall in Wichita, Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas, Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock, and the South Plains Mall in Lubbock, Texas. And then, of course, the Westgate Mall in Amarillo. I still have not been to Amarillo. I was talking about somebody the other day. I still have not been to Amarillo. I don't know why I've not been to Amarillo, but I have not been to Amarillo. I need to go at some point to Amarillo, Texas. And I think I'd have fun there, but I just haven't been, and I don't know why I haven't gone. But I need to go. I know that. I need to go at some point. Then, of course, like I said, this week, man. Oh, I guess it's Sunday night. I thought it was it's Sunday afternoon, Ravens and Chiefs. I'm sorry, Sunday afternoon. I thought it was Thursday night, but it's Sunday afternoon. Okay. I was all jacked up. Anyway, you have the Seahawks and the Cardinals on Thursday night. Not sure how excited I am about that. What about you guys? You know what I'm saying? How excited are you to watch that game? I like to see Kyler, but I'm not overly excited. Are y'all? And that's the one thing about Thursday night football. with the NFL. My only complaint about them is it's on Prime, but you haven't given me any games, anything to watch. You haven't really given me anything to watch. They haven't. They haven't given me anything to watch. And I wish that they would give me something good to watch on Thursdays. I'd be extremely happy about that, but there's nothing for them for me to watch, which is sad. Then of course Sunday, man, we have some games. Vikings and the Steelers. Oh, by the way, Cardinals are plus 1.5, so that means the Seahawks are 1.5 point favorites in that game. 43.5 is the early over under. Vikings and Steelers. Steelers are plus 2.5 at home. Vikings have been playing well. We'll see what happens with the Steelers and what Aaron Rodgers can do if he can keep them undefeated. Then of course, the Giants and the Chargers and the Giants. The Chargers just gonna smash them. I don't see. I don't see any way that they don't just beat the brakes off the Giants. I just don't. Plus 6.5. The Giants are plus 6.5. I'm probably going to take the Chargers in that game. I really am. I just don't see them doing anything to keep the Chargers from beating the brakes off them. I just don't. The Titans and the Texans. I have no desire to watch that. Zero. I have no desire to watch that game at all. Even though it's in Texas, in Houston. If I was there, would I take Lil G to the game? Yes. But I'm not going to be there, so I have zero desire for that whatsoever. Commanders and the Falcons. Falcons plus 1.5. Over-under is 45.5. The Falcons, after getting just smoked, no points, smoked the other night, last week, I see the Falcons coming back and at least making some of it. But the Commanders had a great game. But I believe in the Falcons at home. Plus 1.5. I'm probably going to take the Falcons in that game. I really am. Plus 1.5, 45.5 over. I don't know if they're going to score, but I'm going to probably take them. Saints and the Bills. I think the Bills 16.5. That's a lot of damn points. But it's in Buffalo. The Saints, they just don't do it for me. They just do not do it for me. They really don't. Do they do it for you guys? I don't think they do either. I don't think they do it for you. They just don't. I'm gonna 16.5 is a lot though, but I'm gonna go ahead and take Josh Allen and the Bills. I think they're gonna smash them. You have the Eagles and the Buccaneers next. Man, the Bake Show without Mike Evans, I think that makes them vulnerable. I would have probably taken them had Mike Evans played. I'm going to take Baker, who, remember, it was Baker, Kyler, Jalen Hurts at OU quarterback. And Baker still wants to believe that he's the best quarterback of all time to play at OU, so I'm sure that has a lot to do with it as well. But I'm probably going to take the Eagles on it anyways. Because without Mike Evans, even though the young rookie has been doing great for Baker, I'm just gonna take the Eagles and the points. Browns and Lions. After the Lions just destroyed the Ravens, can they play any better? But the Browns defense is way better, a lot better than the Ravens defense than what they saw Monday. Way better. So we'll see how that's going to work for the Lions. But the Lions defense is way better than the Ravens defense. So we'll see what's going to happen there. But I think that the Lions -8. Oh man, the Browns tend to ugly things up. They really, really do. They really, really do. I just don't see the Lions being able to score as easily as they did against the Ravens. But I don't know if the Browns can do anything with the Lions defense. So I'm going to probably take the Browns and the points. I think the Lions will win, but I don't know if they're going to win by 8.5. That's just my early guess. The Panthers and the Patriots, zero desire. Zero desire. Not a Patriots fan, not a Panther fan. I don't care. I know that sounds terrible. I'm supposed to be doing sports. But you know, one thing about us, we're honest over here. Just don't have no desire for that game. Whatsoever. Jaguars against the Niners. You know, Robert Sala's got that defense playing really, really well. Uh, Jaguars and Niners at home. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and take Robert Sala and their defense. I'm gonna take the Niners at home. I think the Niners are gonna win. I'm gonna take the points. -1.5. I think the Niners are gonna win. That's my take on that. Like I said, the Panthers and Patriots. If I had to guess, I'll take the Patriots. I don't really care. I, I don't care. Or I'll take that back. Let me take the Panthers and the points. How about that? And then, of course, I'm going to take the Niners and the points, 1.5 points. I'm going to take that. Colts and Rams. I think the Colts, it's time for them to come down to earth a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams, 3.5 point favorites. I'm going to take the Rams in this game. I think the Colts, it's time for them to come back to earth a little bit. I really, really do. Then you got the Ravens and the Chiefs, taking the Chiefs over the Ravens. I think the Chiefs are going to get together. But that being said, the Chiefs not having their two weapons, and the Ravens not being that great on defense. I don't know if the Chiefs can exploit them. I just don't think. I don't know if they can. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the Chiefs at +2.5. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Chiefs plus the points because I believe they'll beat them. So the Ravens -2.5. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the Chiefs and the points. Bears, Raiders. You know what? I'm gonna stick with Caleb. I'm gonna stick with Caleb in this game. I'm gonna go ahead and take Caleb. Bears over the Raiders. I'm gonna go ahead and take Caleb. That's what I'm gonna do. Even though Raiders are minus point, I'm gonna take the Bears +1.5. I think Caleb is gonna start showing a little bit more. If he could just hit the damn 5-yard pass, that just he could just make that happen. So at some point, I believe it will. But like I said, this is his first year as quarterback, and I don't count last year. I just don't. The evening game, Packers and Cowboys. Why does Dallas still be? Why do people put them on TV? Why? Can somebody explain it to me? Why are they on TV? Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand that one at all. Monday night, the Packers, Cowboys. I'm gonna take the Packers. I think the Packers' embarrassing loss against the Browns this past week. I'm going to go ahead and say the Packers will come back and just beat the brakes off of them. That's what I'm going to take it. And Micah is going to take it out on Dak. That's what I'm going with. Jets and Dolphins. I'm glad that's a 6:15 game because I don't care. Jets and Dolphins, I don't care. Jets playing really, really well, but I just doesn't matter. On ESPN, 6:15 game. It's the early game. If I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. I don't. Whatever. And then the Bengals versus the Broncos. Broncos -7.5 point favorites. The game's at 7:15, not 7-1-5-5. 7:15.5 on ABC. It's not that at all. So I'm not taking that at all. So now, talking about something that we already care about is the Thunder coming up. We talked about it briefly yesterday about Fred VanVleet getting hurt. And what does that mean for the Rockets? What does that mean against the Thunder? You know, it was so funny. We were in our little chat. We were talking about how, Russell could come. I hope Russell goes there. I said, I don't fear them at all. That would be fantastic for me. I wouldn't mind that at all. My guy was at Fierro, go Broncos. Of course you're going to say that. Of course, brother. Of course. That's how that is. I get that. Go Broncos. I like the Broncos, by the way. But anyway, so I don't know what they're going to do, but Russell has said something, I'm going to retire if nobody picks you up. Nobody wants you, bro. So you got to thank the Thunder and Sam Presti for allowing you to do the triple-double stuff. But the problem is, once they get you, they realize that was bull. And it was. That's all it was. Sam Presti allowing you to get those extra rebounds to do your triple-double. That's what that was. So that people could be excited about Oklahoma City basketball. Strictly a marketing ploy. That worked until it didn't. You got Paul George, and then that stopped once Paul George got here. And that didn't work out at all. We had to go get beat by Portland. So when I look at what the Thunder are doing and I look at all this, let's go Thunder and let's see what we can do. That's the way I look at it. And I think we'll be fine, but we shall see. We shall see how it works. But once again, I'm looking forward to it. And when you look at our Thunder schedule, remember these first 10 games, remember we only do 10 games at a time. Here on our show, we only do 10 games at a time. Okay? And when you look at our first 10 games, and like I said, the Rockets losing Van Fleet, I'm sure they're going to make some sort of change and grab somebody. But when you look at that first game, what are your first thoughts of that? My first thoughts are KD's coming to town. He's going to get to watch us hang a banner. He's going to get to watch us get a rings. He's going to get to watch. He's going to get to watch the Thunder. He's going to watch SGA break his record. Hopefully, again, while he's guarding SGA, that's my hope. SGA is guarding him when he breaks his record against us or against SGA, the one that he started here in Oklahoma City. Then, of course, when he left and went to Golden State, he continued that streak of 20 straight games, scoring 20. And it just blows me away that it's only 72. Because I'm thinking of all the players, how do you not score at least 20? KD is one of the most gifted scorers in the history. How did you only score 72 games in a row? How is that? I don't get that. But anyway, that first game is interesting to see what's going to happen. I don't know if we can. I didn't know if we can win before. I think we can win now with Van Fleet being out. But once again, depends on who they get. Training camp starts, in another week. So we'll see how that works out. Pacers, they don't have their boy. I think we'll beat the Pacers. So I think we'll be 2-0. The Hawks we'll beat them 3-0. At the Mavs, that's going to be a different show. I think we can beat them still, depending on what they do. But I think they match up with us. I'm more afraid of what we do at the end of the year with the Mavericks than I am at the beginning of the year. But I think we can go there and get a W. But if we can lose, that would be the game that we would kind of lose. I think the Rockets and the Mavs are the two games, if we're going to lose, that we could possibly lose. But I believe we'll either be 4-0 or 3-1 through those first four. The Kings at home, I believe we'll handle them, even though it's always a tough dogfight every time we play the Kings. I think it's going to be a dogfight between the Thunder and the Kings. I just do. The Wizards, I don't see any reason why we don't handle them. Pelicans, Zion supposedly has lost weight and blah, blah, blah. We'll see. I mean, bro, how do you throw away so much talent? How? I don't get that with what he did. I don't. Then you've got at the Clippers, which I think could be an L. That's going to be a tough game. That's going to be at night. Then, of course, at the Blazers, at the Kings. I was talking to somebody the other day about that. How it's crazy is that we go from L.A. to Portland to Sacramento. So you bypass Sacramento to go to Portland. Why wouldn't you go L.A., Sacramento, Portland, home? But instead we go Oklahoma City, L.A., Portland, Sacramento, home. I don't get that. Crazy schedule at the end. But after these first 10 games, I'm thinking we're 8-2, 7-3 at the absolute worst. If we're 6-4, I'm gonna be a little gonna go, okay, what are we? We're still thinking about that we're champions or what? But I think 7-2. 8-2, 7-3 should be about where we should be. 9-1 would be spectacular. If we're 9-1, I think that puts the league and go, oh shit, these guys are really on it and what they're going to be able to do. That's kind of how I look at the start if we do it that way. Okay, but I'm excited about what's happening with the Thunder and what's going on with us. So I'm looking forward to all that. But anyway, guys. I want to thank everybody for watching this edition. We're going to get off the air. Got some things coming. Getting ready to try to set up our new studio to do our whole different, our new podcast that we've got coming up. So we're doing all of that stuff, trying to get all that ready. My stuff, I had to take stuff off the wall, and I'm giving it to my grandson has all my stuff, so I'm giving him all my my stuff, but we're cleaning up the walls, redoing everything, redoing painting, and all that for our upcoming stuff. So we're looking forward to that. So that being said, hey, hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Remember, Coach Gundy got fired today. I think it's not the end of the world. It's probably a nice fresh start for the Oklahoma State football team. Uh, I believe that that's a great opportunity for us, for the university to start over, get a good football coach. You have some of the best facilities in the country with our practice facility, with our weight room, with our locker room. You know, T. Boone Pickens made sure all of that was fantastic, and it is beautiful. So you do have great facilities to build something. So now it's just a matter of getting the right coach in there, and that can go out and recruit. And as far as NIL money, I know, and I argue with people all the time, there's a lot of money at Oklahoma State, bro. A lot of money. There's a lot of ranchers out there with money that donate. And I promise you, you get the right coach in there who can fire these guys up and have them give you money. I believe that it will happen. That being said, everybody have a fantastic day. Peace out. And remember, 2025, world champions. Let's